to Days of the Dead. Always wonderful to have you.
Thank you.
As I told you last time, I had a
I'm just
confession.
cheating on myself.
I had a confession that I had not seen the movie all these times I
Oh,
watched it. And I finally saw it. I watched it again and I loved it even
You
more.
watched it again?
Yes. It was a
You're a
rush.
sucker.
It was a rush job watch the first time. To say that I didn't see it. When I go down, I'm just going to sit down and pay attention and take it in. And I like to do it more this time, so
That's good.
thank you.
Alright. Well, thanks.
Now, obviously, Evil Dead is a whole, it's such a powerhouse of a franchise. How does it feel to be a part of such a pivotal franchise and be a part of the Evil Dead family?
It's great. I was really scared at first because you want fans to like what you're about to do, and you don't want to disappoint people. So it was a whole mix of stuff. A little bit scared, a little bit apprehensive, but also really excited. Yeah, because it's an honor to be a part of, obviously. Yeah.
Do you remember the first scene you shot?
Yep. It was the very first scene that you saw me in the film, where I'm messing around with a soldering iron and my teenage daughter Bridget is hounding me about her t-shirt.
Do you remember the last scene you shot?
Oh, yeah, when my face got kicked into the wood chipper.
How was that for you? How long did that take?
The entire film or the face getting kicked into the wood chipper?
The face kicked into the wood chipper scene.
Well, that's kind of hard because that last sequence with the Marauder is all kind of one big scene. It's just one really long sequence, and that was filmed over a few weeks.
How long did the entire film take?
It was 3 months of filming with a 2-month lockdown in the middle of that. So it ended up being, I was in New Zealand for 6 months.
3 total active films.
3 total of active filming. I was there for a month before we started filming.
Were you a fan of the Evil Dead franchise before?
No, I wasn't. I had never watched any of the Evil Dead films because I'm a chicken. But then when I read for the film and found out that Lee wanted to meet with me, then I watched the originals. Yeah.
So, since you are a chicken, were you afraid when you watched them, or did you say this isn't that bad?
It wasn't that bad. Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, I could watch these sooner. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I think as well, modern audiences are much more desensitized to horror, so like I feel like horror has to keep sort of pushing boundaries to impress people and to be original. And I think the first Evil Dead is all really original and unique. Obviously times change, so I wasn't that scared of them.
Did you watch the first remake they did as well?
Yep.
Yeah. How was that one for you? That was pretty graphic.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel that it was graphic? You get so graphic because we are desensitized that we've been seeing so much all these years?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do think that things are kind of ramping up.
Yeah.
For sure.
To keep up.
Yeah.
Amazing. So as a chicken, as you said, what's the scariest movie you've seen?
Hereditary.
Yes.
Wow. Oh, it's so right about that one.
What wasn't frightening about that one? I was just so scared, and I was on my own watching it at night time. It was really dumb.
Yeah, that idea is you're already a chicken.
Not smart. No. And texting a friend just going, what am I doing to myself? It was, and I fully didn't expect her on the ceiling then. I jumped and I didn't sleep very well that night at all. No. I literally kind of turned my face or cover things so I can't to try to soften the blow.
Does it work?
No.
Now that we had some scary talk, Do we have any audience questions?
Which scene was the most difficult to execute and why?
That last sequence with the marauder, for sure. Yeah, that was very, very complicated. We shot it lots of different ways, and then we had this 2-month lockdown, and we started filming that sequence. We actually, the entire film we did in chronological order, which is unusual, and we're very lucky that we got to do it that way. But we had done a few days of that sequence, and there was a huge COVID outbreak in New Zealand, and we had to shut down for 2 months and come back. But then once we were back, we had to be socially distanced. So everything was just really complicated, and all of a sudden I couldn't have Bridget and Danny next to me on set, and we all kind of had to film separately for them to stitch together in post. Yeah, and so we all kind of had to do our parts like on our own, and what you don't realize sometimes with film, so they put together a whole call sheet, and they'll plan to shoot Danny from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And so they'll call me to come and start my makeup to coincide with when Danny Rapp's doing this scene. And so then I get onto set and I've got no idea what he did, because I wasn't there and he wasn't beside me. And so then you have to try to fit in, because you know that's how it was. We're all meant to be in this at the same moment and in the same morphed spidery character. So that really complicated things then.
I would have never thought that watching that scene.
Yeah, and I don't know what's what. it was all such a blur, and then watching it on screen, you're not really aware of like, what were we doing at that point? Were we together? Were we not together? I've got no idea. Yeah.
Can we see the smile?
Oh, why do people do this to me?
No.
Why?
Please, please, please.
Did you develop that smile, or were you instructed to give a creepy smile?
I just have a big mouth. I just I fully think that's, you know. No, I'd like to think that I was cast for my performance and how I act, but I also think a big part of it is how big my mouth is and how sharp my cheekbones are.
You have a very Julia Roberts-esque smile.
Oh, that's flattering.
Yeah.
No, it's really.
And don't you agree?
Oh no, it is. No, I meant it. It is very flattering. I mean, I'm not sure I agree, but.
Well, I think it's true, because you're all teeth. And you both have beautiful cheekbones, and you know.
Yeah, that's lovely of you to say.
Yes. And that's the best.
Did Bruce Campbell give you any advice for the role?
Sorry, who just spoke? Because I thought it was. Hi. We had a little confusing moment there, and then a voice came from where I wasn't expecting it. Okay, did Bruce Campbell give you any advice for the role? No, I didn't get to speak to Bruce until the premiere at South by Southwest, because Bruce and Sam, we filmed in New Zealand during the pandemic, and they were not necessary to be in the country. They could watch all of the dailies remotely and weigh in and speak to Lee. Everything can be done virtually and online now. And New Zealand was incredibly strict with who they were letting into the country at the time. I was lucky that I got to be there. There was a cast member that didn't make it into the film because they couldn't get her into the country. They had to recast the role. So it was, really strange times for stuff. So I did get to speak to both Bruce and Sam and hang out with them at South by Southwest for me.
That kind of situation happened a lot. I was a part of a movie that me and my friend were supposed to be in, and we were filming in summer of 2021. My friend is Irish in Ireland, and she was supposed to have a much bigger part than I was. I was like just a featured extra, and she couldn't get into the country to get here into America to film. Yeah. So I benefited and got the role. Oh, yes, I got the role. And I'm like, but I called her like, is this okay?
That's sweet.
Because I'm like, she goes, no, but I felt like terrible. I felt, even though I didn't have any control over it, like,
Yeah.
I took her role, and I just didn't want to.
Yeah, but I mean, I prefer my role going to a friend, but I love
Right.
your, yeah.
First of all, I want to say everybody gets really nervous when there's remakes or something redone in a franchise. Bow down to you because it was absolutely amazing, and I think everybody's in here because of that. Being someone who I guess wasn't really a fan of horror genre, what is it like for you? What was it like for you playing someone so evil, so maniacal, but also have like very comedic parts in your role as well? What was that like? How did you get into that mindset?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm not an actor that takes my work home with me. I leave it on set, and to me, it's like, I don't want to say I don't take it seriously, because I do take my job very seriously. I work very hard. But in a character like that, it's like it's not real. So you know that what I'm doing is just, it's so out there that the only option for me is to enjoy it as much as I can. And I also felt like Ellie had Deadite Ellie. For someone to be like that and to do those things, it has to come from such a rageful place. And so I just tapped into all my feminine rage, man, and I just let it fly. And I was like, "Rah!" And it was really fun. Yeah.
What was your most challenging or daunting challenging role with representation on that?
In Evil Dead Rise, or any role that I've had?
Yeah, in the last one.
Okay.
Right.
The most challenging thing I did?
Yeah.
Okay. The vomit. The vomit. Because it was, I hated it. I really hated it. I'm not gonna lie. Everything else, like I could deal with the blood and the prosthetics and the stunts, that was all fine. Fine. But the vomit was just the most disgusting thing I think I've ever done in my life. And I really wanted to actually vomit. Yeah, I hated it.
Want to share with us what that process was?
Sure. Just make me relive it. So it's Evil Dead, and everything is done practically. So what you saw on screen actually happened. That volume of liquid came out of my mouth, and it was out of my mouth. It wasn't like the camera's here and they shot it out here. They have a tube, and the tube comes up and it has a mouthpiece that's in the back of my mouth, and they force this awful liquid, and the liquid is like, it's like having buckets full of somebody else's saliva in your mouth. That's the best way I can describe it. And it is throttled up that tube, and it bounces off the mouthpiece and then just goes out of your mouth. And the force that's happening, and the vibration, and the mouthpiece back in your mouth, and the gag reflex, the whole thing is fully disgusting. And like, you actually see my eyes kind of like, and that's really what happened, because I hated every second of it. And they were like, it's going to be a one and done shot, and it's never a one and done shot. And we had to do it multiple times, and I was like, oh. That was the most challenging, for sure. I just wanted to get off set that day, which doesn't happen very often.
So, do you have a favorite scene, and what about a favorite line?
My favorite scene, I would say everything through the peephole, both to film and also to watch. I think Lee was really original with that whole sequence of stuff. It was wonderful, and Stuart Thorpe, our stunt coordinator, the way he had sort of choreographed all of the fight stuff and getting shot, and the timing of that was all really fun to do and really fun to watch. And my favourite line is free from all titties and parasites.
So when you get possessed and your voice changes, is that you talking or how
It's a lot of layers of me talking, and then I think it's also a little bit digitally manipulated. They had me in the sound booth, I can't remember how many days I did now in the sound booth, but all of Deadeye Ellie's dialogue, I did a whole range of stuff from like whispering like a little girl all the way through like full Cookie Monster. So, and then they took all of those different things and kind of layered them all together. And yeah, Peter Albertson, who did our sound, was so wonderful. And we had a lot of fun in the sound booth. Yeah, it was cool.
Were you able to do the house at Halloween Parade?
Yes, I was able to go. Yeah.
Did you contribute any additional voice add-ons for that?
No, I got to go and enjoy it. Once it was all done and they were, I got to take some friends and just enjoy it. Yeah, I didn't contribute. I didn't need to. I mean, it was so fun. No, and it's a wild experience to see all these people with your face on their face jumping out and staring at you. It's really weird, but really cool.
So that's the self-professed chicken that you said you were. How was that? Because, I love my scary movies, but when I go to horror nights, I scream like a little bitch.
I was so nervous.
It's true.
I was really nervous. I don't like being scared. I think I've been sent a run through of it. I think maybe our exec producer sent me a run through of it, so I kind of knew the layout of it. But I also went to the Last of Us maze. We went through a few of them. That one scared me. Someone got me real good right at the end of it. I thought we were done, and now the maze, and there was like one extra scare that really got me good. Yeah.
I went to the horror nights in Orlando last year, and I had not been to horror nights since I left California, so it's been like 17 years, right? Yes, and I'm pretty good at the houses. I go in like, okay, but keep an eye out for people jumping out for me. We're good, and I
Can't be in the front or the back. You got to go with enough people and be in the middle.
right, but they don't jump out everyone either, so they know how to time it so they don't get everyone so you don't see them coming. But I'm always like, but there was one, and I don't remember which house it was in, and got me so good. I shrieked, I screamed, and then I did one of these. And then I laughed, the person behind me was losing her shit. I'm like, right?
When I'm actually legit scared, I don't scream. I found this out. I make a really weird noise.
I think we've had this conversation before.
Really?
Yeah, in India, I think. We were talking about, fight fun. Right. But, when someone's jumping out at me, I will scream. Whether it's a real situation or it's a fake house, right? If someone grabs me or jumps at me, I scream, and I might hit you, and that's your fault,
Oh yeah, I'm like, hey, that's an interesting tidbit for you all. At the beginning of the film, when Beth scares me and I hit her, it was my idea to hit her.
Yes! I was like, that's what I'm scared. Some people think it's a fun idea to come up and grab you from behind, and I just...
I've got a reflex like that too.
Yeah, I throw my elbow back so fast and so far, and I'm like, that is your fault, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, but when it's, I don't know, when I am frightened, maybe I got chased by a dog once, I was like, and my voice just caught in my, and I love dogs, I still love dogs, right? But this was a mean dog, just on the street, like a very mean dog. I didn't get anything, I was like, I couldn't do anything, my voice caught in my throat like yours did. It did not. I don't know. It's like I'm 16. You know, I was not a kid. It didn't affect my love for dogs.
That's good.
You know, and I don't know why it wanted to bite me. It was obviously very frightened, right? And it was on the street. But my reaction in a
Hurt
situation.
dogs hurt people.
Right. It's sad. I love animals. But my reaction, I realized then, is I don't run, I just catch my cut, I can't do anything, you know, talk or scream.
Yeah.
Unless you grab me and scream.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah,
Right?
it is.
It's strange.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it is.
yeah. And when I have to make a scream, like for a horror movie or something, I have a hard time getting the scream out.
Really?
Yes, it's weird. I don't know. Anyway, I need to work on my screaming apparently.
Yeah, I think they didn't really have to do that.
Yeah, everyone was screaming because of me. We're making the screams out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, horror nights is great. That house is awesome. Thank you.
Well, I mean, back then, yeah, I had nothing to do with it, really.
Did you go into any of the other houses in the horror nights?
I did. Yeah, we went
You're
to
very
Once we did Evil Dead, I was like, okay, all right, I think I can handle this. And we went on some rides. Yeah, it's a good time. I've never been before, and I didn't know that it's actually like the park is still open and you can be on rides and all that at the same time. We had a blast. It was great.
Did you do Florida or LA?
LA.
Okay, yeah, I did Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the best. I was like, oh, this was good.
Yeah.
It's not even for so long. This is so nice.
It's fun.
I have to make sure I do this more often. Maybe trip.
Yeah. I found that, do they do the same thing in Orlando as they do in LA with like all of the different scare actors just are in the park as well?
Yeah, like they're running in some
Yes.
random character.
Yes.
Chasing with chainsaws and stuff.
I think
Yes.
I was more scared by some of them because you're just trying to walk through the park and you're not like in the situation where you know you're jumping out at you. We're gonna just stop talking about this. I'm already getting
Okay. You.
So I'm just curious, was there anything that we didn't get to see in the movie or that you, like was in the script that got cut that you really wish that was still in there?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the EDD.
That was.
Yeah. I had some takes where I flipped the bird. I went eeny, meeny. Yeah, I did that. It is on social media. I leaked it.
Because I really did wonder when I watched the movie exactly what that scene was. I was like, where is the ED mic? Oh.
They got it. No, you know what it was, and I agree with the decision, is that it made it a little bit too funny and less scary.
There.
Yeah, that's why.
Did I see that in the back? Yeah.
Did you have any difficulties working with the children out of neighborhood?
No, not at all. Gabby was 15, and you're working with a 15-year-old, and like they're savvier than you are. She was great. Nell, our youngest, Nell didn't read the entire script. She knew her lines, and we would take her through everything. Also, when you're making a film, like you know everything that's going to happen. You've rehearsed it all. We had Nell come in and see some of the makeup process so that she could see just how fake it all is and that it's not real. And we never had her see me on set for the first time because the set was really quite dark. So we would have her see me in like bright light before we would go on to set together and have a little chat. And she was a real trooper, was fine with it. She knew it was all contained.
For not being a horror fan and after being such an iconic movie and having a great time and doing a great job, has this potentially now opened you up to wanting to make more movies in the horror genre?
Sure, but maybe a little bit further off in the future. I want to be a bit careful if I go and do another horror straight away. I'm just a horror actress. I'm pretty adamant that the next thing I do is not horror, so that I can, you know, have a longer career and not just be thought of in one genre. And also because I want to do as many genres as I can. I'm definitely open to the genre in the future. I just, from a career perspective, I'd love to do something pretty different next.
What was your reaction when you saw yourself in all that makeup for the first time? I know you probably saw the process, but like what's it called?
Yeah, it's hard to answer that because you are watching the entire process, so there's no kind of like reveal for me. And we did a lot of makeup tests as well, and that's all a blur, and I can't quite remember.
What about the rest of the cast when they saw you? Well, I don't know, the youngest kid saw you getting
It was more the crew, because I kind of forget, you know that you're made up to look like a monster, but you do kind of forget, and so you walk in to have breakfast with the crew, and you don't think about it, and you're in the line with everyone else, and you just got people going, yeah.
Or like you go to the bathroom and you forget you're wearing it, and you look in the mirror and you're like, crap.
Little bit, yeah, that can happen, for sure. You look up and you're like, oh right, yeah, that's on my face, yeah.
How much would you say the makeup and costume process helps you develop your character? Or do you pretty much go in beforehand with it already worked out?
It depends on the role. Yeah, it depends on the role. With Ellie, I don't, gosh, my memory, because it was a few years back now that we filmed. I wouldn't say Ellie's costume contributed to my character, but in other roles the costume has. So, you know, oh god, it's so case by case. The makeup for Ellie,
So you don't have like a process that's like one size fits all, or this is how I do my thing to find my character.
no, I've got all different kinds of ways to get into stuff. Yeah. There probably is some kind of consistent process that maybe I'm not as aware of. But I like to try all kinds of different things. Sometimes there might be something in a backstory of a character that I really kind of connect to, and that's the seed that sort of starts a character. Sometimes it's an accent and a dialect that makes you sit differently or stand differently and gives you different posture. And then sometimes, like with Ellie, it was, I think her movement, just coming up with her movement, the little twitches and stuff. And I had a whole playlist of music, and I think that was kind of the basis for Deadeye Ellie. And then I kind of just let it go and trust myself and see what happens. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
I'll change it up from a little bit of a cringe finger. When did you realize that your character was going to be somebody that was not liked in the series? The acting was great, and I loved to hate your character, but did you know reading the script that it was going to be that way?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, from where I stood, we were pagans, and women are not responsible for men's behaviour. So no, I didn't think that she would be hated the way. I mean, look, you can't really know how an entire fandom is responding to you. I figured out real quick that I wasn't going to read any comments once the character was introduced, because I was very excited. It was my first series regular. And introduce my character, I like looked at social media and there was a picture, and the comments that were underneath that picture were really pretty cool. And I had no idea that that was coming for me. Didn't think about it because, as I said, we were pagans. So that was kind of the first insight I had into what was potentially about to happen.
The acting was great. The character.
Thank you.
I love to hate the character just because we're the anti part of the basic.
I blame Ragnar.
Actually, kind of touching on what you just talked about, since you are on social media, and thank you for posting a lot of things that you do, especially behind the scenes photos. How do you, I guess, navigate that world? Because there are so many people who just want to say the negative things or whatever. How do you navigate that?
Don't really read a lot of comments. It's wild to me that my role on Vikings could be so hated, and yet I can play a mum who turns on her children and becomes a homicidal maniac and be embraced. It's a really bizarre thing to go through, and it shows you how a funny line of dialogue can really change people's perception of something. But yeah, with that stuff, I just don't really read a whole lot of comments. And look, that's not to say, like, people don't really come to my page and dole out hate. That's not a thing that happens very often. It was more like on the show's social media. That's where I saw mine, and I was like, oh, I'm staying away from that. So it's like stuff like that. But I want to have a really healthy relationship with social media. It's a business tool for me. I should be posting more and I don't, and every now and then I'm like, oh, I should post something. But I kind of will do that and then just close it and leave it. Because those apps are designed to make you stay on them and to get dopamine hits and get like chemically addicted to them. And I would prefer to read a book. So.
Who's your favorite author?
That's a tough one. I just finished David Copperfield and I adored it. I loved every second of it. Yeah, it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. So I'll say that because it's top of mind. Yeah.
What was it like preparing for all the stunts that people did? Crazy stuff.
Really fun. So much fun. Because I hadn't really done much of that before. At all my role on Vikings, I didn't get to do stunts. I sat on the throne. Everyone else got to run around with swords and shields and stuff, and I just sat on the throne. I loved it. And it's a fun new challenge to combine, like, I feel like it's using both sides of the brain at the same time, because you have to be so accurate and time things all at the right time and remember, and it's kind of like doing a dance. So you have to be really aware of that, and because you don't want to hurt people. And then at the same time, you need to perform well while you're doing it and get like the right emotional beats while it's going on. And it's a bit like rubbing your tummy and patting your head at the same time, but really fun. Yeah, loved it.
How did you cling on to the ceiling in the one scene where you jumped out of the water?
When I was 9, I had this spider that bit me.
No, but it's
Jokes. I was in a harness. The harness had me suspended, and that took all of my weight. Now, it wasn't easy because I had to look like I was stuck. Yeah, it was tough. It wasn't an easy thing because like keeping my hands and stuff like connected to the walls was tough. But I was in a harness.
In the back, or middle rather, black hat. Hey.
I just want to say, yeah, I'm piggybacking on the Vikings. Loved it. And I'm sure you hear this all the time, but if people like really like dislike the character, at least you're doing your job. And
Oh, I know that. I'm well aware of that. But I think to expand upon what I said, I became very aware of how society loves to blame women. And a lot of the comments were based upon how I looked. They were very lean, and that was really kind of like, wow, okay. I'm gonna stay with my person.
part of my question was, Travis, is he the practical joker? He seems like he would be the guy.
Yes. Yes, I did not have a passcode on my phone when I joined Vikings. And very quickly into filming, I learned you got to put a passcode on your phone. Yeah, I think they called my agent one day. But someone had taken my phone and they were in the midst of calling my agent, and I was just like, how did you what that? No, give me. Yeah.
Do you know when you were going to see?
No, I intercepted it, thankfully. But then a passcode got put on my phone real quick.
Right there.
What was it like working with Lee Cronin? I mean, like, he is such a visionary. I loved the hole in the ground, especially. So I was really excited to see what you did with Evil Dead. What was it like?
It was fantastic. It was unbelievable. I think he's a great genius. And we seem to be on the same page with kind of how our taste and how we wanted things to go. I loved it. I thought he was wonderful to collaborate with. There were things that he came up with and contributed that were incredible. And he's really meticulous, and I love that, because that means I can trust him. He's not going to say, okay, we got it, moving on, if he's not totally sure that he got it. So, yeah, he's great. I really am, because I'm pretty meticulous myself.
Doing more genres than you really focus. What would be the next genre you want to get into? Like if you were offered it, or that you really want to be in first?
Sorry.
Anyone that offers you a job? I'm just saying.
It's typically the way you go. Who wants to give me a job? Take it.
That's a non-horror.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I want health insurance.
Yes.
Ooh, I don't have one that I'm going to do next. No, because I want to try everything. So one doesn't really take priority over another. It depends on the creatives. It depends on the script and the characters. Yeah. Sometimes it will depend on where it's filming. and you're kind of like, do I want to go there for 6 months of my life? Depends.
Piggyback on him, though, I always like asking this question. If you could be in any movie franchise, like you could pick one, what would you like to see yourself in?
Bond.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to be a Bond villain.
A Bond villain.
Yeah.
Yes. Not a Bond girl, a Bond villain.
No, a Bond villain.
Yeah. I saw that shooter back there.
Yeah, it was between 4 and 6 hours, depending on where we're at in the script. Yeah. I had some early wake ups. And real quick,
So when you're on a set like this and everything is practical, and now, there's so much with CGI and AI, do you have any thoughts on that? Because it's so rare nowadays to have a set that is using practicals versus CGI or AI.
Do I have any thought?
I mean, when I'm watching something as a viewer, I love practical. I really enjoy that. Sometimes CGI CGI is what you've got to do to have certain things happen. I guess I don't like when a film is really packed with CGI. I'm not sure what my thoughts are yet on AI. I don't think I know enough about it. I'm pretty terrified of it in a lot of ways. Like, I read an article the other day on a new scam. Someone got scammed because they like recorded somebody's voice and then got their daughter or something.
Yes.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Like that terrifies me.
They're saying to have a safe word with your family now.
It's as technology advances, I feel like the bad guys are also I don't know, man. Sometimes I just kind of want to go back to the 80s, and, you know. Yeah, terrifying.
All right, random question for summer.
Oh, here we go.
I got fun with this time, don't worry.
Oh my God.
I always hear something really bizarre at her that she's not expecting. Okay, are you ready to stretch that? Ready? If your career had a theme song, what would it be?
Oh, jeez.
Hold on.
I don't want it to have one theme song.
If your career right now would have a theme song, what would it be?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay.
It's all over the place. I don't know.
I love it.
Yeah.
And it's very long. Yeah, and about it either. It's very long and all over the place.
There you go.
Okay, everyone give it up.